Hello and welcome back to another video on the Wrestle Debate and to NXT Takeover 36 out of 10. Yes, Takeover weirdly on a Sunday this weekend, but to cap off this mad week of wrestling, I'm sure we'll get an entertaining show with matches like Karl, OReilly, Adam Cole, Samoa Joe, Karrion Kross. And on the kickoff show, Ridge Holland defeated Trey Baxter in what was basically a squash match, and then called out Timothy Thatcher ahead of this week's match on NXT. Yeah, basically just a squash match on the pre-show. Nothing wrong with it, nothing to talk about really too much. First up, in the main card, we had Cameron Grimes vs LA Knight for the $1 million title. Grimes had the upper hand early on and hit a backdrop before Knight was sent outside. Grimes set Knight up on the steel set before Ted DiBiase helped him land with a big kick to the $1 million champ. Grimes was headed to the top rope, but Knight dropped him and he fell to the outside. Knight was dominating at this point, but Grimes blocked a neck breaker, but it was caught in a headlock in the ring. Knight had a springboard moonsault, but Grimes dodged it. Cameron got a near fall before he went for a crossbody, but Grimes took a moonsault for a near fall after locking in the $1 million dream and almost making Knight tap. Knight fled the ring to try and get back in control, and he took a big kick. Grimes then hit the cave-in after Knight was back in the ring to get the victory. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. This was a really enjoyable start to Takeover. A great match and a great result. And to be honest, I'm really interested to see where this whole story goes now with Grimes and DiBiase. I don't know if Knight's going to do something new now. That was Raquel Gonzalez versus Dakota Kai. Gonzalez caught a slap from Kai and started unloading on her as the match started at Takeover 36 before Kai managed to send her into the turnbuckles. Kai went for an armbar, but Gonzalez powered through and tossed her away to take control of the match. And then it kind of continued with a period of Gonzalez domination before Kai dropped Gonzalez outside before hitting some kicks. Raquel then dodged a scorpion kick as she dropped Kai on the ropes and to the outside. Raquel no-sold a few super kicks before Kai blocked a choke slam. Gonzalez, however, got the Chunganoga Brawl from the top rope, and that was enough to get the win in a brutal match. I'm going to give this 7 out of 10. This was enjoyable, and after the match, Gonzalez was celebrating when Kaylee Ray's music hit and she came down to stare the champ down, and that just made it even better. Did not see it coming, but Kaylee Ray versus Gonzalez is going to be a hell of a match. Yeah, so on the whole, the match was okay, and this was really enjoyable. 7 out of 10. Before next up, we got the highly anticipated rematch, Walter versus Eli Dragonoff. Walter got the first takedown before they traded chops, and the ring general looked like he was losing control early on. Dragonoff took Walter down a few times, and Walter got caught in a headlock before he caught Dragonoff and sent him outside. Dragonoff took an earth-shattering big boot, but came back twice and strung down as Walter took him down with some knee strikes. Dragonoff then took a German suplex before hitting the Torpedo Moscow to nearly got the win. Walter hit 2 power bombs, but it wasn't enough. Dragonoff came back and once again locked in the super hold, but Walter lifted him and got to do the ropes for a backdrop at Takeover. Ilya then locked it back in even after Walter got another backdrop. Dragonoff unloaded on the champ like a madman and locked the sleeper back in before making the Walter tap out to the end of the ring general's incredible run. Yeah, an unnatural show of skill from both men. There was no flashy moves, no show promoting, just flawless, hard-hitting action. Just incredible. Really enjoyed the match, and Dragonoff, the rub he's got out of that is just incredible. Walter hopefully going to NXT full-time now, and to be honest, I can't wait to see what he can do on that brand. So on the whole, this was great. 8 out of 10. Before it's time for Karl O'Reilly versus Adam Cole. Karl O'Reilly was unloading on Cole as the match began, and Cole hit a Shining Wizard for a near fall. Cole landed a super kick, but O'Reilly then hit a spinning clothesline for a near fall. Cole then went for the Panama Sunrise, but Cole countered it to get the pin for the first fall, and the match turned into a street fight for the next pinfall. Cole got a chair and set it up in the ring before O'Reilly sat down on it, placed a trash can on his head, and Cole sent Kyle into the ring post and then the barricades outside before getting the kendo stick and hitting a backstabber at Takeover. Cole was sent into a steel chair before Kyle ran at him. Both men brought steel chains and hit each other before Kyle locked in the guillotine and sent Cole into the equipment area. Cole was set up with 2 chairs in the ring, but he recovered and dropped Kyle on top of them. And that was enough to get the second fall once he hit the last shot. And the match then turned into a steel cage match. Adam sent Karl outside while the cage was lowered and sent him into the announce desk before dragging him into the ring. In the steel cage, Cole tossed O'Reilly around the structure while Cole reversed a slam into the cage, and that Cole wiped then out Kyle and tried to flee the cage, but O'Reilly went after him Cole took him down, hitting a Panama Sunrise before Cole handcuffed Kyle to the ropes, beating him with super kicks. Cole then caught the last kick and got a heel hook, making Cole tap out. This was absolutely incredible. Gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Whether this is the end for Adam Cole or not, who knows, but Karl O'Reilly finally getting the rub. In a match that kind of felt reminiscent of the old takeovers. It was just absolutely incredible. Loved it from start to finish. It gets an 8 out of 10 from me. And then it was time for Karrion Kross vs Samoa Joe for the NXT title. Joe took Kross to the corner for the beatdown before hitting an overhead kick and an elbow drop. Kross tried to make him come back and was caught in a coquina clutch. Kross then tossed him off for a Doomsday Saito and he was in control with another Saito. Joe then rolled through and sent Kross outside before the Samoan submission stream hit him with another move. Joe hit a massive power slam in the ring and got a near fall before locking in a crossface and hit a huge belly-to-belly suplex before going for an atomic drop. Joe had the coquina clutch in before Kross reversed it. Kross tried for the cross jacket and Joe nearly passed out after breaking the hold. Kross was caught in an Uranagi before Joe managed to hit the muscle buster to get the win, and Samoa Joe is your new NXT champion. Yeah, this is a great match. 8 out of 10 for the match, and probably the right decision too. Joe, even with this new era of NXT, it would be great for him to, I don't know, maybe he'll be a transitional champion, and just really mentor the younger guys, and that's hopefully what happens. And Kross, he's going to Monday Night Raw. Hopefully he stops wrestling Jeff Hardy every week and gets the push, because he is great. But for me, yeah, kind of for the good of the NXT title, this just makes sense, really. Overall this week, NXT Takeover 36 gets an 8 out of 10 from me. For me, it was a really enjoyable takeover. Started off a bit slowly, but it definitely improved as the show went on, and in the end it turned out to be a really, really enjoyable takeover. The last 3 matches were brilliant, so on the whole, this takeover gets a solid thumbs up from me. But anyway guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. So like, share, subscribe, and all the comments down below. Follow me on Twitter, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to my channel on the screen right now. They're greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.